Hi, this is Dai from Binarycore Media. I'm here with Phasma
Hi.
to do a dual commentary and game review on DeathSpank, a new game available on the PlayStation Store for $9.99, or what's the Xbox?
The same.
It's the same, but Microsoft points. What's the exchange rate?
It's 1,200 Microsoft points, which is £10 roughly.
And you need to own an Xbox, which is a downside. But moving on, it's designed by Ron Gilbert, who worked on the Monkey Island series, developed by Hothead Games and published by Electronic Arts. DeathSpank is an action RPG with humour at its very core.
We're reviewing this on the PlayStation 3,
Which is better.
or should I call it the George Foreman. And we're going to take you through the basics of the game and give you our thoughts overall.
Yeah, so what we're basically going to do is jump straight into a new game and skip on the intro to save time. Here we go. I suppose it is actually also important to note that we have actually already played through the game. We're just starting off again to avoid any spoilers, and quite importantly, just to let you know,
This is a true story.
yeah, that's important. Okay, so we're jumping straight into the action at the start of the game.
Blood flying everywhere.
Yeah, dispensing some justice already. You know, that's a really great video game introduction. And you know,
Well, I'm going to be joining in on the justice dispensing as Sparkles the Wizard.
isn't that your real name?
No comment.
Okay, so Sparkles is, you know, he's not as cool as DeathSpank, but he's
Oi! Okay, true.
yeah, and you know that carries across the real life as well.
Actually, I'd like to disagree with that.
Okay, well, you know, we'll let the viewers decide.
Let's not. They're idiots. I mean, fuck.
Thumbs up for that remark. But right, as you can see, like we're just like moving around. It's a very free-flowing game. It's very simple to pick up. Very simple sort of controls. You can see down the bottom right-hand side of the screen. There's different weapons assigned to X, square, triangle, and circle, or whatever the buttons are on the Xbox. Who cares? But you can assign different weapons to different buttons. You can link up combos. We'll explain that a little bit more in the review. You can see we've got into a bit of a skirmish here at the moment. Obviously, it's very simple at this stage of the game, just getting used to the controls. But one thing which we can mention is that the game looks extremely good. There's like no loading screens at all, and so you could just go from level to level, area to area, just without any interruptions. It's really great.
And you can teleport between outhouses, which is quite handy.
Yeah, through ways which he cares not to discuss, as he puts it.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we've just encountered an NPC, as you want to call them, and
Non-playable character.
yeah, you know, I think we all know what that stands for now. But
Thanks, that was an impression.
yeah, and we mentioned Ron Gilbert earlier, having worked on the Monkey Island series, and obviously anyone who's played any of the Monkey Island series or any of the old LucasArts titles will be familiar with this. Multiple dialogue options. Obviously, some of them are related to the story, others to go down a more humorous route, and so there's a lot of depth to the game. There are certain trees, as you might call them, that you might not have encountered first time round, which helps to the longevity and ultimately depth in the game, which is very impressive. So basically we get a quest from this witch here, and we're going to go off and kill some chickens. So we're just jumping into some combat right now. You can see us dishing out some sweet justice. And if you notice down the bottom, there's a purple helmet sort of thing. That's a justice meter. When it's full, you can unleash a justice attack. It fills up appropriately with combos and perfect blocking.
You've also got the character Sparkles, as you can see, engaged in combat. His flamethrower is his normal weapon, and it's basically infinite. It's not great damage, but it's reasonable. You also got health, which you can dispense to refill the health bar at the bottom, and you can spawn a little mini Sparkles to use as a decoy or something. He doesn't really do much, to be honest, but it does come in handy occasionally.
Yeah, as far as decoys go, he's pretty damn useless. Of course, no RPG would be complete without some form of leveling system, and DeathSpank certainly does have one. However, it is a little bit disappointing. There's no sort of attributes to distribute, and there's no skill tree as such. Instead, you have hero cards, which sound pretty cool, but ultimately they're a little bit disappointing because they only increase certain stats by a very minor amount, and there's not so much customization with it. However, it is a lot better than nothing. A bit like the co-op mode, it is a lot better than nothing, and it's still fun in its own way. Of course, all of this is pales in contrast to the humour in the game, which is by far its strongest point. I mean, it's got an excellent dialogue, lots of little jokes, and not just ones within the game. They're very satirical, and there's a lot which you can gain from going down all of the aforementioned dialogue trees to find out what everyone actually has to say. And of course you can see the gameplay is still very smooth, looks great, plays great, really can't go wrong with getting this game. With regards to outfitting your character, you can see here that there's multiple weapons and multiple armor slots. Each have their own sort of attributes, and you can have different resistances, and you can customize the weapons. You can put different weapons in different slots. Each have their own unique abilities. Some of them are elementally charged. A lot of things that are quite standard in a lot of RPGs make an appearance there. Inventory is sort of much as you would expect, really, from a sort of Monkey Island point of view, where you get lots of little things and you often have to combine and use items with other items to help you on your way, especially with certain quests as well. Quite an interesting introduction is what we call a fortune cookie, and that would give you a little hint at your quest. Nothing too obvious, but if you do get stuck on one or two, it'll certainly help you on your way. And if you do get any old items or anything like that, you can use the grinder in the inventory to grind them down into money. Money isn't so important in the game. I found myself not really using it much, because if I were to buy the equipment, I'd just end up finding it about half an hour later. But I don't want to make it sound negative. The game really is an excellent play. There's a lot to be gained from it, of course enjoyment being the biggest factor in it. This is obviously quite a fair few improvements which would probably be made, but at the end of the day this game is just £10 and it's a lot better than full price games on the market, and so you really can't go wrong with getting it. And so we're going to have to come up to a conclusion with this. Overall, the humour is excellent, well worth the buy, plays well, the combat's great, but obviously downside is a little bit limited, but it will get you coming back for more. Overall, we're going to have to give it an 8 out of 10, which is a fair reflection upon its cost to fun ratio, which is exceptional. Overall, if you want to come and discuss this in the forum, then by all means come to binarycore.org and subscribe.